Today we're talking about VA loans, what it means to buyers, what it means to sellers, and debunking some of the myths that are out there, and we're starting right now. Hi, I'm Darlene Humphreys, your Klamath Falls Realtor. I recently had the opportunity to go out and meet with some sellers. We're going to put their house on the market in a couple months, and so we talked about marketing techniques, the things that they can expect from the process, and then we walked through the house and pointed out some things that they're going to need to do to accept FHA, USDA, and VA loans. And there was like, no, 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 we're not taking VA loans. They're terrible loans. The people aren't qualified. It'll never close. And we're not accepting VA loans, period. And I was like, whoa, let me stop you right there. Let's talk about your concerns. And we're going to go through them, the concerns they had, because I'm sure that there's other people that have the same concerns. So let's talk about them. One is that the VA program is a zero down loan program, so the buyer must not have any money. And that's completely not true. VA loan is zero down if the veteran opts to go zero down, but they can put down payment down if they would like to. But because it's a zero down loan program doesn't mean that the borrower doesn't have money. Another myth is that the borrowers are marginally qualified, that everybody that qualifies for VA is marginal borrower and they probably aren't going to be able to perform and their credit score is lousy, and that's also not true. VA has some flexibility as far as credit requirements, but that doesn't mean that they're not a qualified borrower. Obviously, if a lender has qualified a borrower, they have a pre-approval letter. Hopefully, the process will be fine. And the other aspect is the health and safety. And that's why we were walking around this house and talking about the concerns about condition, because every loan with an A, FHA, USDA, VA, all have a health and safety component to their appraisal. So when the appraiser comes to evaluate the house, they're going to look at a list of conditions. And the number one thing in Klamath Falls that fails a house is peeling paint. Far and away, number two isn't even close. Peeling paint, it doesn't matter what year the house was built, is the number one concern and going to fail the house for FHA, VA, USDA. And so if you are selling your house and you are going to consider those loan programs, which the vast majority of our transactions are USDA, VA, FHA. I have a dog in the background playing with something that's noisy. Sorry. So if you're a seller and you're going to want to be able to accept those loan programs, and you want to accept those loan programs because there's a lot of borrowers that are going to use them, peeling paint is going to be a concern. So the number one issue with VA, which doesn't have anything to do with VA, is the VA lenders that advertise on television. They send veterans a bunch of notices. We're all rah rah, we serve veterans, and they're lousy at mortgages. I am sure these big SEO lenders are very good at some of the things they do, and they are giving a service to the veterans, and they use their rank and they're very respectful to the veterans, and that I appreciate. But their members are hamstrung when they come to the table with a pre-approval letter from one of those big national advertise on everything lenders. And you know who they are. If your spouse or parents or whatever was a veteran, you can they stink. I think I've had one. I think I've had one that went really well with one of those big lenders. But every other time it's delays. It's, can you provide us those documents again? Oh, we're stuck in underwriting. We can't get out of underwriting. And it has nothing to do with VA. It doesn't have anything to do with the VA loan program. There are so many great lenders in our area. And buyers, if you want to use VA, contact me and I will tell you a lender to use. Don't use one of those big, we serve veterans, rah, rah, we serve veterans lenders. I will get you to a lender that will actually serve you and make it a much less stressful transaction. And another thing about those lenders, I've never had someone that was pre-qualified with one of those big lenders go to a local lender and had the local lender's offer as a package be worse than what the big national lender could offer. I know that there's some stigma about, oh, they do so many loans. They do so many veterans loans. VA is so complicated. I have to go to those big lenders that do all these VA loan transactions. No, you don't. No, you don't. You'll have such a better experience with a local lender. Just call me and I will tell you some local lenders to speak to and ditch those big national lenders, because trust me, when you're like asking for another extension because your big SEO lender is screwing it up again, It'll be much more stressful. So, sellers, do not be scared of VA loans. Do not be scared of the health and safety aspects. Do not be scared that the buyer is marginally qualified and the sale is not going to go through. VA is not a big scary monster. There's aspects of the program that have earned it some stigma, but it doesn't have anything to do with VA. It has to do with some of the peripheral stuff around it. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I swear, you guys, like, I get all fired up about these things, and I just want you guys to know that there's some things you don't have to be concerned about.